What's going on YouTube? So the Cadillac XT5 has long been Cadillac's best-selling vehicle. And now for 2022, it's getting a few additional standard features. Now, of course, this XT5 has been on sale for a few years at this point. So is this still a great option in the segment? Let's go ahead and find out. Alright, so before I describe the exterior in general, I do want to mention two of the updates which are related to paint. You do have a new color option called Latte Metallic and also a new color option called Rosewood Metallic. We actually saw what the Latte Metallic looks like, and it's a very interesting color that's going to stand out on this vehicle. Now let's talk about what we have in terms of the design. Now you're not going to see any changes to this for 2022, so you still have the typical Cadillac grille up front. Since we have the premium luxury, that's going to keep all of our chrome elements through there. The sport one's going to look a little bit more aggressive, of course. And then traveling over here to our headlights, again, you have that signature Cadillac design. Full LED headlights are standard, of course, and then you've got that daytime running light and turn signal indicator that bends down and travels down into this area as well. Now taking a look down here at our wheel options, you do have a standard 18-inch alloy. However, we do have optional 20-inch alloys on this specific example. So two of our 2022 upgrades are going to be related in this area. If you choose the Sport model, you do have a new 20-inch alloy option on board with that. You also now have standard Brembo brakes, and that includes the red brake calipers for a unique and sporty design. And then coming up here to our mirrors, they're going to have heating as standard equipment. And then if you choose anything except for the base model, that will also include power folding, auto dimming, as well as blind spot monitoring.
Now here at this side, let's go ahead and talk about the length and the overall sizing of the Cadillac XT6. We're looking at 189.6 inches for the overall length for this model. And as far as some design elements, of course, nothing has changed this year. However, we do have some chrome trim. Since we do have the premium luxury model, if you go for the sport, that would black things out to make it a little sportier design. And then as far as the rear itself, once again, nothing changes this year for the rear design. This has always been a very angular and unique look, and that's going to continue. So we have our Cadillac badge right here in the middle, chrome trim going through the center area as well, 400 badge, and then look at our tail lights. These are going to be full LED tail lights. I've always liked the way that these look. Signature Cadillac fashion, they are kind of stacked design. We have our LED reverse light right here in the middle. Then since we have the premium luxury model, we do have the silver trim as well as the dual trapezoidal exhaust outlets, which really set off the overall look. And for our towing, we're going to be rated at 3,500 pounds. Now it's time to talk about your safety systems as well as the warranty information for the XT5. Now, for this model, they are throwing them in on the various different trim levels. So you're going to have standard forward emergency braking as well as auto high beam headlamps. If you go for a premium luxury or a sport model, that will further throw in lane keeping assist. However, you still will have to add in packaging to get your adaptive cruise control. Now, for your warranty, you are going to have a really good warranty. 4-year 50,000 mile basic warranty, 6-year 70,000 mile powertrain warranty, and additionally, Cadillac is also throwing in your first maintenance visit complimentary. Now that's going to wrap up the outside of the XT5. Now let's go ahead and check out the interior before we take it out in a spin.
Of course, as you'd expect, you do have a standard intelligent entry system, and to unlock the door, just press the button to unlock. So of course, as always, let's go ahead and talk about our interior color and material choices. So your luxury model, that comes with leatherette and jet black only, but your premium luxury and your sport models, those come with the real leather seats you see here, and that has the choice between jet black, Cirrus, Sedona, and Kona color options. The leather quality on this is pretty nice, but you can also get semi-aniline leather if you upgrade to the platinum package, and that has a special color option of maple sugar. Now as we turn over here to the seat itself, we do have an 8-way power adjusting seat with 2-way lumbar support that is standard on all the models. And we'll go ahead and look around the cabin at the materials. The overall design is not changing for 2022, so we still have the leather across the armrest here as well as above it. We have a nice high gloss wood that runs through here, real metal trim, and a leatherette that runs across the upper dashboard. Metal speaker grills. 2-person memory seats are going to be included on all but the base model. And as far as our windows, 1-touch auto down for all 4, auto up for the driver and the passenger. Heading up to the upper dash, more leatherette is across here. You're going to have stitching details that run through here, perforated section in the middle, more wood trim, more aluminum, and then you have some more leatherette that runs down the console and covers up the areas with the cup holders and everything around there. And of course, to start up, just put your foot on the brake and press the standard button. So first up, taking a look at our gauge cluster. Most of the XT5s in the lineup are going to come with this upgraded system. So this has the 8-inch display in the middle, and of course you have the 2 analog gauges punctuating that. And you do have the typical fare of information that you can cycle between. Additionally though, this model comes with the head-up display. This is part of the technology package, and there's several other features I'll point out through the review that are also included inside of that tech package. Now as we pull back to the steering wheel, you do have a nice leather wrap steering wheel, nice integration of the high gloss wood inside of the steering wheel, and the wheel itself is going to be power adjusting on every single version, and then you're also going to have steering wheel heating on all but the base trim level. But let's go ahead and talk about interior storage. So turning over here to the console, let's open this up. We have a nice little bin here, felt lined, 2 USB ports. We can take that and toss that to the side there, and you'll notice pretty deep. You do have illumination. The whole thing is going to be felt lined, and we can stick those coupons in there, no problem whatsoever. Now up in front of that, we do have a wireless phone charger pad that you can slide your phone down into. Slide this piece back and you've got your 2 cup holders. Got another storage area right there. And very important for the XT5 is the fact that it continues to have the very large center pass-through, so you can stick just about anything down there into that section. And all in all, this is pretty versatile in terms of interior storage. Now, taking a look at our shifter next. This is the typical Cadillac electronic one, so you pull back for drive, pull back again for manual. There are actually some paddle shifters behind the steering wheel if you want to use those. And then press up to go into reverse. When you go into reverse, you will be greeted with a standard backup camera, or in the case of this model with the tech package, the 360-degree surround camera. As you can see, resolution is very nice. We have both those views as well as active trajectory, front and rear parking sensors, and then you can switch between several other views, including side view, by pressing those buttons right down there. And then for park, just press the P. Of course, you do also have an electronic parking brake as well. Then right behind the shifter, you do have your Q controller there. We also have our volume knob. So you do have a standard Bose 8-speaker sound system, but this model has the optional 14-speaker Performance Series Bose, and we'll go ahead and give that a sample right now. So overall sound quality is very, very good, and of course I do like the extra metal speaker grills that it throws into the cabin. Okay, so let's look above here to our climate controls. Just like last year, standard dual zone automatic, available 3-zone automatic with the Platinum models. Adjustment, super simple. You've got the metal toggles here. These look touch capacitive, but they're actually physical buttons that you press into, including for your standard 3-stage heated seats and your available 3-stage ventilated seats. And then we of course have our display. So this is the Cadillac user interface, or Q for short. You've got the same 8-inch display as you had last year. This is going to be standard across all of the models, and since we have that optional Bose sound system thrown in with that, is the built-in navigation system. This is not the built-in navigation system. This, of course, is the Google Maps that is in Android Auto, which does run wirelessly, and Apple CarPlay does also run wirelessly on this system. Rising above that, we do have a frameless auto-dimming mirror, but it is also the rear camera mirror system because we have the technology package. Of course, you're going to have LED lighting, as you'd expect. There's your HomeLink universal remotes right there. And if you press that button, that's going to open up the sunshade for your panoramic sunroof. This is going to be included on all but the base model.
All right, guys, come on back here and look at this XT5's rear area. Now, of course, this is a luxury SUV, so you're going to have a lot of space as well as some luxury amenities as well. So as far as the space is concerned itself, you're looking at a really large amount, 39.5 inches of rear leg room, 38.4 inches of headroom. That does make this one of the largest offerings in the entire segment. As you can see, I'm 5'9", Drew's 5'8". This is our seating adjustment. I still have probably 6 inches of leg room to spare. This is a really, really nice, spacious rear seat. As you can see, my feet also can slide up underneath of the seat. Now, as far as other things to point out, some of the luxurious amenities, let's look here in the middle. As you can see, we do have heated rear seats. That is included if you go for a model that has the 3-zone climate. So as you can see, we also have that feature back here to adjust our climate independent from the front. If we drop down below that, here are your rear vents. We also have this little storage cubby here. I'm not really sure what you could put here, but it actually is quite a bit deeper than you would expect. Dropping further below that, we have a USB-C as well as a regular smart charging USB port. Then if we fold down the center armrest, there's a little bit of a nice armrest here. You do have cup holders inside. And then let's look at your door trim. The door trim is going to be made of the same premium materials as the driver or the front seat. So we have nice padded plastic here with some stitching details, some wood trim, metal speaker grills, as well as some bottle storage down the bottom. All right, guys, let's quickly come on up to the tailgate. We're getting rained on here. Now, you're going to have a hands-free power one if you go for the premium luxury or the sport model. So just kick your foot under the bumper to open it up. Second time's the charm. I think the sensor's off to the left just a little bit. Now, as far as the space is concerned in the XT5's cargo department, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this as well. We're looking at a little bit over 30 cubic feet of cargo capacity behind the second row seats. And then as a maximum, you're looking at 63 cubic feet, which is actually larger than what you get in the Lexus RX. It's a pretty significant advantage. So there is a lot of space back here, and you're definitely going to benefit from that additional cargo capacity. I also want to mention that your seats do fold 60-40 split, so you just grab these little handles here, and they do fold down completely flat with the loading floor, so that's, of course, really nice that they include that. And then, I know we have a lot of junk back here, but we do have a nice carpeting along the floor, some LED lighting. Then if we lift up the cargo department here, you do have a spare tire underneath, as well as a 12-volt outlet here on the left side. The passenger seat on most XT5s will be 8-way power adjusting with the 2-way lumbar support as well, so that's quite nice. Then if we open up our glove box, it's going to be another very premium element. Look inside of here. We have a really, really large glove box. It's also nicely felt lined. We have some LED illumination. And you guys know we wouldn't forget the coupons. Here we have our Jets Pizza coupons up here at the top, and you throw those right in there, it absolutely swallows them up. Up top, we do have a sun visor. We have some incandescent lighting here. We also have a mirror, and we can also detach the visor as well as extend it out.
Alright, so I punched it a little bit here in the 2022 XT5. Just like with the previous model years, you do have the 3.6 liter V6, which is what we have on board with today's example. 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque. So this is a pretty powerful motor. This is the more powerful option of the two different choices. So you are going to have a standard turbo 4-cylinder that's going to be on all but the Sport. The Sport will come standard with this V6. Today's premium luxury it has this as a $1,000 option.
Yeah, and that 2-liter engine is going to be making quite a bit less power, so if you're really wanting your XT5 to have the most power on tap, you will want to go for this V6, but it's going to have 237 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. So you can do the math there. It's about 80 horsepower for the V6 upgrade additional, and then for the torque, you're looking around 20 pound-feet more torque.
I feel like most people probably choose to have the V6, and for good reason. It's nice and powerful.
Refined.
Yeah, critically, it's refined and smooth. That's a big thing for a luxury vehicle like this. XT5 is really singularly focused on luxury, that having that all-around experience, and we do have a smooth, refined engine on board to deliver that power.
Also, I want to talk about the ride quality, because like Drew said, this vehicle is very focused on just the overall ride quality and making sure that you have a nice luxury experience, and I think that's really where this XT5 shines the most, is that it just really overall has a fantastic ride quality. You can get adaptive dampers. We don't even have that in this particular model, and it still has really phenomenal ride quality. We even have larger 20-inch wheels, and it just soaks up the bumps. You're really going to be very pleasantly surprised when you get behind the wheel of this XT5 if you want a comfortable ride, because it does it so well.
Which is today's slam dunk. Definitely the overall luxury experience, refinement of the powertrain, and just kind of the whole thing is going to make you feel, like you're having a nice, isolated luxury experience.
Now, for our airball, we will just go ahead and kick that off since we talked about our slam dunk. What we're going to say is there are some elements inside of this cabin that are starting to show its age a little bit, especially when you compare it to some of the newer Cadillac models. Obviously, your center infotainment and your gauge cluster is not going to be as wowing as some of the newest Cadillac offerings like the Escalade, and they will update it with the redesigned XT5 coming soon.
I do want to go ahead and mention one of the other aspects of this, kind of refined powertrain situation, which is the transmission. So we do have a 9-speed automatic transmission on board, and it does exactly what you want a luxury crossover's transmission to do, which is just blend into the background. It's nice and seamless, shifts smoothly. When you put your foot down, it gives you power on demand pretty quickly, and just overall, like I said, a very refined transmission.
Yeah, you do also have standard front-wheel drive or optional all-wheel drive on this model, which does mean that you have a few different fuel economies, so let's go ahead and mention those. For the V6, we're looking at 19, 26, 21 combined, that is with front-wheel drive. We are also looking at 21 combined with all-wheel drive as well. Now, if you go for the 2-liter option, that will increase your MPG by 3 to 24 miles a gallon combined. Alright, and as far as your pricing information for 2022, you're going to start at a base price of $45,190 for the luxury model. The premium luxury is going to have an entry point at $49,740 for the 2-liter, and then the sport model is going to be $57,090 as a starting point.
But overall, if you're looking for a luxurious 2-row experience for you and your family, the XT5 remains a pretty good choice.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us on this in-depth review of the 2022 Cadillac XT5 Premium Luxury. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, please hit that subscribe button down below. Join this Car Confections family. I promise you won't regret it. It helps give us better opportunities to show you all better content. So please do that. Tell a friend, tell a family member, whatever you want to do. Also follow us on TikTok as well as Instagram, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.